Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Monster Energy Supercross 4. We're going to be partaking in the ESX eSports Championship that is presented by Yamaha Racing right here in the Raymond James Stadium of Tampa, Florida. So we're going to be using Justin Barcher on the magnificent Yamaha. Of course, being a fan of all things Yamaha, we're going to be using it here today, and thankfully this is actually presented by Yamaha, the entire eSports Championship, so it makes sense that we're going to be using Justin Barcher on board this magnificent Yamaha. So here in Tampa, Florida, this is the time trial stages, and now the way this works is from the May the 7th to the 30th of June. It is going to be constant, unlimited time trials right here, and I do believe just in Tampa, Florida. And the idea is that people are going to be continuously competing in these tracks to try and get the best times. Now, it's only the top 12 riders that will go through to the next stage, which is, I believe, in July 2021, which of course is not that far away, it's just an additional month. And there'll be 3 head-to-head heat races, where the best will compete, and then the top 2 finishers of each console, including PC, will be racing onto Stage 3. And now Stage 3 is the ESX Finals, the Supercross Finals, or Monster Energy Supercross Finals, whatever you want to call it. And the idea is that whoever wins will win a brand new Yamaha Wolverine RMAX4 1000. It's like a big beast of a machine. It's bloody awesome. Personally, for me, I probably won't get that far. But at the same time, I'm going to give it a good old shot. Shout out to Maniac PT for recommending I jump into the esports and have a go. Now, personally for me, I've never really had much faith when it comes to the esports. The guys who play them are ridiculously talented, and they play the games from ridiculous hours. Unfortunately for me, being a content creator, I don't quite have that much time to really chuck it into just doing one continuous lap or continuous race constantly to really get the best time and learn all the best features. I'm much more prefer entertaining rather than trying to get into the esports. However, esports, of course, would be absolutely magnificent if I could make it into it. But currently, as it stands, my best time is a 54.820. Not sure how it stands on the leaderboards right now, but for the time being, we're not going to worry about the leaderboards. We'll just focus on the racing, focus on the time trials, and see how we improve. Because most importantly for this, is I'm going to improve regardless. So then the content I'll be doing on Monster Energy Supercross will improve as well. Because the better I become, the quicker I get, means better racing and better commentation for you guys. So, as far as the time trials go, I wasn't very confident going into this one. I didn't believe I could do very well. Supercross and MXGP are not my skills. They don't really lie there. It's not my forte, let's say. Ride 4 and MotoGP I do feel extremely confident on. I've played them probably for decades compared to playing the Supercross series in Monster Energy and MXGP for maybe around 5 to 6 years, probably a little bit less. Depending on when the first MXGP game came out, was my very first Supercross game. I tried games like MX vs ATV, and quite honestly, I wasn't a big fan. But I did find that I was struggling to beat my time of a 54.820. What I tend to find was that I was doing things different, where I found that something wasn't working, so I would change everything. And the difficulty of being in the Monster Energy series, of course, with the different jumps like the triples, the doubles, and even the tabletop sections, is you have to get each one of them right to make the lap time work. And it's the same as like MotoGP and Ride 4 as well, but it just feels different somehow. Like you're still on the bike, you've not really made a mistake, but you have made a mistake in the sense of actual nailing the landing or getting on the decline, or maybe not quite nailing the corner itself. Now in MotoGP and Ride 4, I'd probably be able to tell where I'm going wrong pretty quickly. But here in Monster Energy Supercross, I was finding it difficult to figure out where I was going wrong. What was I doing that was slowing me down? And the most of the time it was a case of that I just wasn't getting the jumps right. I'd probably get the jump too far, or I'd jump too less. Or if I'd get the jump right, I'd then nail the next corner and everything be funky-dory, and then I would make another mistake going into the next corner. So it's very difficult for me to sort of understand where I'm going wrong, because it's not a big community compared to like MotoGP and Ride 4. A lot of my subscribers are all from Ride 4, MotoGP 21, and even MotoGP 20. Not so much from Monster Energy Supercross. Now, I do my best, I really do, but I don't know much about it compared to the likes of the road racing. That's where my forte is. I adore MotoGP. Probably a fanatic is what you could say. And here I'm still learning the basics, I'm still learning the riders, still learning the different bikes, the tracks, etc. But I still love it just as much. But I don't feel like I do a good job. So I got into a bit of a rut and I started changing things. As you just seen a moment ago, I even tried the third-person camera, which is bloody awful, to be quite honest with you. I think it looks terrible. I don't know why it looks so odd. But I did get a little bit disheartened because I just couldn't beat the lap time I was setting, and I couldn't figure out where I was going wrong. Now, when I'm doing career mode, I can sort of understand where I am compared to the riders, but it's only myself as a reference. I do believe you can challenge others' ghosts, but I always find that's more of a distraction, and I tend to find it more of a hindrance than it is by an assistance. Sometimes it helps, I guess, but sometimes for me, I find it's like cheating in a way. I know it's not, but at the same time, I don't like following other ghosts. I'd rather go into this one and just give it my best shot and know where I'm going to be. I would probably guess that my top sort of ceiling would be maybe in the top 200 or something like that, because I know when I did a time trial a while ago I was struggling to get into like the top 50, and that was just for a normal time trial that a couple of riders that had just jumped on and had a bit of fun with. Now here, when there's a eSports championship with a prize and a reward to have, you better believe these guys are going to be taking their best efforts towards it. Like, they're going to be giving it 110%. And I did chuck in some lap times. As you can see, we're already up to lap 23 already. And, of course, I've skipped ahead because there was a lot of failed attempts in there as well, let me tell you. A lot of it was just making mistakes and just continuing on to try and figure out where I could go better next time. And as you can see, we do have potential. We do get right lines, but I think I'm missing something. Maybe I'm just missing a bit of speed, maybe I'm just missing a bit of confidence with the bike. Whatever it is, I'm obviously lacking something. But the positive note is that this is May the 7th to the 30th of June. So there's still a long time for me to improve. But also at the same time, that also is a lot of time for the best guys in the world to also improve. And there's some people like on Twitch, etc., and even other YouTube content creators who will probably be competing as well and showing what they are made of and showing how they can dominate the leaderboards. Me, on the other hand, not so much. So of course we have many esports riders in the world showing off their talents and skills, and it looks alien to us mere mortals, it really does. But if we can learn and just improve, even if we don't even come in the top 200, maybe if we don't even finish on the leaderboards, as long as we're improving, we're having fun, that's all that matters, isn't it? And the thing for me is I'm having fun. I've enjoyed making this video, and it did feel really good to do 50 odd laps. I think it was 50 laps I finished with, or 49, I don't remember. But I think it was 50 laps in particular I wanted to go for. I did go for like 100 at first, but I thought I don't want to exhaust myself, and we're going to cross the line now. And finally, after setting that lap from earlier on at lap 2, we set the best lap of the session right here with a 54.349. And then I got a little bit irritated because I couldn't find myself within that 43. I knew it was there, I knew I could piece it together from somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. I was just struggling somehow. But I did take a little look online to see how others were performing and how they were doing, and I tell you what, it's not easy to find other content creators who make this game. Or at least videos on this game, rather. And the eSports Championship as well, of course it has only just literally started. There isn't really many people giving advice or tips and tricks, and I doubt that people will be giving tips and tricks when there's an eSports sort of competition on. I guess helping the rivals out wouldn't make sense, does it? But for someone who's a content creator, of course, it makes sense for me, because I like to help people, I like to get people up to speed so we can have the best performing riders competing in the best performing championships. So we're going to give it a couple more laps now, up to the final lap now. We're going to give it our best shot. Hopefully we can improve on the 54.349. It hasn't come to fruition yet, and we're still behind our ghost variant of Justin Barcher, which is of course a magnificent rider. We're going to do everything we can to hopefully stick with him and see how we do. But we will take a look, of course, at all the lap times. I'm going to give you a breakdown to see how I'm doing. But for now, I am missing a bit of something. I do think regroup next week, or maybe tonight if I get chance. Unfortunately, I don't get much chance. I was thinking of even live streaming my attempts, so maybe you guys have got some advice for me, if maybe you just wanted to join in and watch me struggle, or join in and watch me do really well, who knows. So if you are interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below if you would like to see me live stream this game again, and see how we do with the actual esports riding for the time trial challenges. But if not, I probably should stay with MotoGP, because that's where my skills lie. So on screen now you will see my time trials, every single lap that I completed, whether it was an invalid lap or whether it was a completed lap. Regardless, I have it on the screen right now. So it's each in sector time. You can see there's slight improvements. The sector 1 we did improve on, sector 2 stayed roughly around the same. But the lack of consistency is what's concerning me right now, because of course, MotoGP and Ride 4, I did really well when it comes to consistency, but here, I struggled, and as you can see, different sector times going everywhere, but from laps 39 to 46, we were definitely in our element. You could probably say towards the end, maybe I got a little bit gassed out and a little bit tired, but we'll see how we get on for the future, and also let's see where we'll stand on the leaderboard. Hopefully it's not too low, hopefully we're relatively decent, and hopefully we can improve for the next time. So looking at the leaderboards right now, and it's concerning. Wheaty at the top there with a 48, and we are obviously not with a 48. We're not even in the 50s, never mind that. So we're currently 97th with a 54.349, which is actually massively disheartening. And I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video because it made more sense to at the end. But I watched some people do it online. I finally found some content and I took a look at how they were riding and how they managed to manipulate the motorcycle. And I gotta say, it's not legitimate. It looks very off. It doesn't look like something you would just pick up and play. It looks very peculiar, very bizarre. So I will see what I can come up with, but I will not be partaking in exploits and sort of assistance, if that makes sense. For the time being, you know, I'm happy with that. I enjoyed making the video and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. So if you did, like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And upon that note guys, thanks for watching and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.